Hi, Lana. Just testing audio.
Oh, Les. Oops, I have to turn something off. Okay, wonderful. Am I coming through nice and clear?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Push the.
That's weird. Yeah. That would
Hi, Les. Just testing audio.
Oh, I'm a panelist now.
Yes, thank you.
Heidi, how you feel?
Hi, President Lamnon. We are promoting you to a panelist. When you have a chance, can you please accept?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. And I can hear you all. So that's lovely. And it looks like we have everybody. Let me know when we're ready.
Can you
Oops,
turn on?
yes, of course. Sorry. There we go.
Go.
Oh, and let me change my pronouns there. I can.
All right, I think we have everyone in the room and we are ready whenever you are.
Okay. And just to so I will call the meeting to order. I will let folks know that I am participating remotely due to illness, but I'm grateful to everybody for being there. And we'll kick off our meeting with our, sorry, I'm still struggling with my diligent on this end. Is it roll call or pledge first?
Pledge first.
Thank you. Yeah, I always get that mixed up in my head. So, Vice President Hatcher, would you please lead that?
Dr. Lamnon, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And could we have the roll call, please?
Absolutely. Director Andrade let us know beforehand that he would be absent today. Director Hodges,
Here.
Director Rosen,
Here.
Director Hatcher,
Here.
President Lamnon.
I am here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to our public comments, or sorry, our oral communications. And yeah, who's got that item?
That's Volunteer of the Month, James. I think you're up.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Board of Directors. My name is James Calcetta, Recreation Coordinator for Senior Programs, and this is Margaret Duran. Margaret has been selected as the May 2026 Volunteer of the Month in recognition of her outstanding service in the Senior Adult Program. She generously dedicates her time to volunteer at the Kenneth Aiken Senior and Community Center, where she faithfully serves every Monday in the Senior Nutrition Program. Margaret plays an important role in keeping the program running smoothly. She helps serve lunches to seniors and assists with cleanup, an essential part of the program's daily operations. The lunch program provides more than just a meal. It offers seniors a chance to connect, socialize, and build community. Margaret's dedication helps make these meaningful moments possible. Margaret worked for the San Francisco Park and Recreation for 18 years as a gardener in Golden Gate Park. She enjoys traveling when she's not volunteering and is also an active participant in HARD's art activity programs. On behalf of the Senior Adult Programs and HARD, we would like to thank Margaret for her continued dedication, kindness, and service to our community. Congratulations, Margaret. You are our May 2026 Volunteer of the Month. Thank you.
You'd like to say a few words?
Put you on the spot, just asking.
Talk about Golden Gate Park or something.
I really liked working in the Rec and Park in San Francisco, and this is pretty impressive. That the Hayward area is also very impressive.
How long
Okay.
did you work for
18 years.
in Golden Gate Park?
Yeah.
When? When did you retire?
10 years ago. Why
I was
do you know?
there.
You were there where? In the-
Came from there. I ran all the pools, Upper No, Eureka.
Oh, okay.
Richmond, Sunset, Camp Mather.
Oh, okay. Oh, where was your office? In the lodge?
My office, no, it started at the lodge for a little while, then I was at Eureka Valley.
Oh, that's why.
Marianne Bertinelli's old office when she moved out.
Oh.
They mixed up all the NSAs in the areas. They got rid of them and went to, yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
went there in about 2009 and I left in about 20.
Oh.
And Margaret,
It started after like Willie Brown, hired all kinds of people.
Yeah. Well, very nice. to meet you.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Margaret, we're gonna give you something and we're gonna take a photo with you. That'd be great.
Yes. Thank you so much for your service. And yes, my colleagues will, sorry, I can't be there in person, but you're in good hands.
Need a camera.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. So when I got hired. I was NSA 3. Right after Yomi left, and then Jerry came in and then Phil took over.
One of these times I'm gonna walk right into that.
I know, I thought we'd have more space, but all the fancy stuff.
Well, I've been hitting, yeah, so I think we're safe.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. N.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Margaret.
Thanks, James.
Thank you so much for your service. That's fantastic. Okay. And that brings us to our public comments. Any, doesn't look like there's comments online, but are there any in the house?
No public comments in house.
All right. Then we will move along to our consent calendar, and that is items. Sorry, getting my mouse into the right place is a little tricky, but anyway, any of our consent items that need to be pulled?
Seeing no
none.
hands, Madam President.
Thank you. So I will entertain a motion for 6.1 through 6.6.
So moved.
Thank you, Director Rosen.
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Hatcher. Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll take a vote, and I will do my best to participate.
So, point of order, I guess it is, maybe information, but we're wondering if the president and the board would entertain going to item 9.1 and maybe 9.2. We're not allowed to start the public hearing until 6:45, which is the next item. So we thought we'd jump down the agenda to those two. And if we have to stop the discussion and go to the public hearing, we can come back to something.
We still have to vote on the consent calendar.
Well, I know, but I'm just trying to figure out the future. Sorry. Yes, you need to vote. Oops.
You're saying 8.1, right?
So our public hearing is at time certain, so
Yeah, there's 8.1.
we're a little
we could
early
do,
for
and we
that.
could go into the last two. Cause I don't know how long 8.1 will last, but we can stop the item and could continue it after the public hearing. I just thought rather than sit here for 5 minutes with no members of the public here for the public hearing, we could consider going to another item and come back.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Okay, let's, everything okay with the vote, Christy?
Yes, it's working now. We're just waiting on one more, Director Hodges. Okay. And
And
the
that,
vote is unanimous, 4 ayes and 1 absent.
perfect. Thank you very much. So yes, to our general manager's point, unless my colleagues have a concern, we can rearrange the agenda. I'm not seeing any concerns there. So, so we would go to start item 10.1. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, that would be my preference if possible.
Okay. Why don't we start that? And then if we need to interrupt at 6:45, we will do so.
So as you are aware, we're doing 8.1?
You said 10.1, didn't you?
10.1.
No, 8.1 comes first because it's
Okay.
the item for the fee schedule. That's the public hearing though.
Yes.
So it is 9.1.
It's 10.1.
It's 10.1. We don't have any nines.
That's right. Okay. 8 because that's all right. Okay, well then you could go to 9.1, Brian, sorry.
10.1.
Just wait a second because something's not right here.
Uh-oh. It's up top.
I get it. I know I'm not.
Thank you. Brian Lasko, Assistant Director of Capital Planning and Development here. I have before you an issue surrounding a grant application for the Hayward Shoreline Interpretive Center. Today, the Board of Directors will consider approval of the authorizing resolution for a grant application to the Ocean Protection Council for a grant program for a sea level rise adaptation project at the Shoreline Center. So I'm sure you're all aware of the Shoreline Center. It's opened in 1985, and it's a premier focus for outdoor education and science instruction involving the marsh out there. And you hopefully you're all aware that there are changing conditions on the planet, and the sea level rise is imminent due to climate change, and it's distinctly becoming more threatening to the facility and its prone location being directly over the top of the marsh. And the king tides are already slapping at the bottom of it. So there is a distinct need for advanced contingency planning. That's really important for the survival of the Shoreline Center. In 2017, Senate Bill 1 passed a $5 billion infrastructure program that's mostly focused on transportation. However, they did have consistently singled out funds for climate adaptation and resiliency planning. And so this is an application to try to get some of that money. We had it in 2019. No, I'm sorry. 2 years ago, 2024, we submitted for our first application for task 1 money for this, and we're happy to report that basically our planning was so advanced they told us to wait until task 2. Here we are at task 2 now. They've issued a call for applications. We submitted our letter of interest so that they could confirm that it indeed is a project that would be appropriate for them, and they agreed, and hence we're applying for this application. The project scope is really to look at the center's future and to really look at a series of cost-benefit analysis on design approaches as to how to react to the imminent sea level rise. So that would involve hiring a series of design and engineering and environmental professionals that would help develop these design concepts that will weigh a variety of approaches in adapting the center. Our initial budget is somewhere close to $800,000. And if awarded, we would be required to match 10% of that amount, so roughly about $80,000. So staff recommends that the Board of Directors by motion tonight approve the authorizing resolution for a task 2 funding application to the Ocean Protection Council grant program for the Hayward Shoreline Interpretive Center project. Always
Alright.
available here for comments and questions.
Thank you. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, Brian.
No, it's okay.
So great. I am, however, going to pause because we're now at 6:45.
Okay.
And ask my colleagues to hold their questions just for a moment. Let's go back to item 8.1 for our public hearing, and then we will resume this item after that. So with that, I will call the public hearing to order and invite whichever staff member is going to kick this item off.
Good evening, Adrienne Lee Bird, Director of Recreation, Arts and Community Services. Tonight, we are bringing you back the master fees and charges schedule. As you may recall, in August of 2025, we brought this forward for a 3-year cycle, which served years 2025 through 2027. And recently we completed the high and low ropes course, the challenge course out at Rel Ranch, and we are looking to open it up this summer and operate it for field trips and nonprofits and possible corporate team building opportunities with local businesses. So we are hoping to add full and half day pricing for nonprofits and government and other agencies, as well as business and commercial. And the attachment shows the newly updated master fee schedule with those prices incorporated into it. So staff is recommending that the board conduct and close the public hearing, receive the public testimony and by motion adopt the resolution approving the proposed additions to the fees and charges schedule for the hard challenge course.
Okay. Anything else before I go over to my colleagues?
I would like to make a.
So no motions as yet. Let's do just questions for my colleagues at this point.
Got it. I'm good.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Director Hodges. Okay. I can't see you, Director Hatcher or Director Rosen, but if you have a question, let me know. Thank you to whoever moved the camera. Okay. No questions. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
no,
I
I
sorry,
have
go
a
ahead.
general question
Mhm.
that, in regards to the coming up with these fees, kind of what model were you looking at?
Great, yeah. So we
derive?
researched 7 different choruses from Southern California to Northern California. 2 in Northern California was Camp Bothan in Fairfax, which is in Marin County, as well as Motherlode at the American River. And so looked at 7 different locations and made sure we were in the range, and then gave it a range from that would fit our community as well. And
Yeah.
also looked at Cal Ropes course, which was at Berkeley, that is no longer in existence.
And just kind of in also looking at the total cost for opening the gates and all that stuff. That's all you guys, we run that model through everything now. So we take a look at the total cost of doing that.
Yes.
Incorporated in this pricing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with the commercial groups, we are recovering the cost and then have a range where we can actually receive some revenue and profit from it. With the nonprofit groups, it's a break even at the high point, but we're probably looking to subsidize part of it, and then it drops to 0 if we need to comp, like for outdoor equity.
And last question, do we have the resident, non-resident type of charge for this type of service?
No profit, no
Profit, non-profit, okay. All right, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any other general questions? Okay, then I'll officially open up the public comment section. Any
public comments?
Then I will officially close the public comment section and turn it over to my colleagues for a motion. Director Hodges.
Okay. Okay, I would like to make a motion to I'm sorry, I can't see the all the way. I didn't circle that we the fees and charges. No. Okay, thank you. The staff recommends the board of directors connect and close the public hearing. We received public testimony and by motion adoption of the resolution approving the proposed addition to the fees and charges scheduled for the hard challenge. Oh, no, it's the wrong one.
So Director Hodges, you're moving the item as presented?
Pardon?
You're moving the item as presented, is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Hatcher. Any other questions or discussion on this item? If not, we'll go to the vote. And that carries with 4 aye votes and 1 absence. So thank you very much. And thank you for the work on that. Very excited to see this asset come online on rope into our community. So thank you very much. So that will bring us back to item 10.1. And I think we'd had the staff presentation. Are there questions from my colleagues?
You're supposed to start by saying if you have any questions for me, and then pick right up where we left.
Hi, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right. So the 795,000 was based on our letter of intent initially. Had that evolved, or I mean, it just seems like a good amount of money for a.
It is a good amount of money. It's
For-
the trickiest part of it is that they're only $7 million for the entire state of California, and there are 18 applications. And so it's going to be a very competitive grant. And so while we have very high hopes and we feel like we hold an inside piece on that track, it's still a large number. The minimum amount that they're going to award is $500,000, so it's kind of close to that. But it's just something that we're actively talking about and kind of taking cues from.
And I guess that's the second part of my question. That we're asking for that, but they could approve 400,000 or 500,000. I mean,
They could,
okay.
yeah. I don't, yeah. I guess they
Not
could.
likely to be the speed.
We'll probably get what we ask or what we get.
Got it. It's all.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's all or nothing.
Perfect. That was the question.
Yeah. Yes,
Madam
Director Rose.
President, if I could make a quick comment. I just want to reiterate,
Mhm.
at most, we would be paying 10% of this grant. So at most, we'd be paying almost 80 grand to get $800,000.
That is correct.
That is great. I wish all our matching grants were
Yes.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, there's like over 1,000 miles of coastline, and there's like 900 miles of bayshore line. So, and there's $7 million for this. This is the first round of Track 2 funding. There's quite a bit of Track 1 funding out there that's already been spent, but so it's going to be very competitive.
We're kind of hoping that whole reutilization into sea level climate change, which fits the grant.
General Manager Wheeler, could you?
I
But-
think the good news
Thank you.
is, sorry.
It's okay.
I think the good news is that, the good news is that the HASPA master plan had 3 possible solutions for how to deal with that. So that a lot of that kind of pre-planning where to go, what are some options are out there. So it makes it a little easier.
And the master planning and being connected to HASPA, we feel we're granted the opportunity to work with what they call technical assistance. So it's an outside party, and they advise us, and they've already read our narratives, and they feel good about our application, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still an application. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Any of, sorry,
no, please.
any other questions or I'll entertain a motion. Yeah, go ahead, Director Rose.
I'd like to make a motion that we follow the staff recommendation and go after this grant money.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Director Rosen. Do we have a
I'll
second? Seconded by Director Hatcher. Seeing no other comments, we can vote. And that passed unanimously. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for the work on this.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Good luck.
Hey, Brian.
All right. That brings us to item 10.2, which is the financial report.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Ray Kanair, Finance Director. I've got for you tonight the Q3, the third quarter financials for the current fiscal year. And as usual, I'll first run through very briefly as to what the budget was. And just as a reminder, because I think just 2 weeks ago, you all were listening to next year's budget, so it's a little confusing. So the current budget that we have, the property tax we had projected would grow at 4%, and then the program revenues would grow at 5%. Personnel, the COLA that was given for the current fiscal year was 3%. There were 2 FTEs added and vacancy assumption of 3%. And then finally, for service and supplies, as usual, we've been keeping it flat, and there was a contingency of 250 that was removed. So where are we now? Some things to remember when we look at Q3 is that the revenue that we receive from the county is in 2 tranches. It's in December and in April. So that's why the Q3 looks very skewed, because we really don't have that much of money that has come in. That's all going to come in Q4, usually in April. This time a little different. I was comparing it to Q3 of the last year just to see where we are trending. And funny enough, you start seeing the property tax has started coming down. That 17.3% that you're seeing just for the quarter last year versus this year, you start seeing that downward trend that we are seeing now when we are doing the next year's budget. So we saw that slight fall in the secured and unsecured taxes. Now, will that catch up in next quarter? I don't know that yet. I'll probably be able to update you when we come for Q4. And then the next was for charges for services. That's usually things to do with rec. 2 of the big things that stood out was the drop in revenue because of Plunge that was closed, and then Sonsdale that we knew that their rates have come down. So that's also, so that was impacting when we looked at the revenue between 25 and 26. Otherwise, everything else has been, as far as revenue is going, as per the budget that we had expected. Expenditures, again, when we look at the trend between 25, 26, nothing unusual. It is what we saw. For instance, when we see the wages had increased compared to the last quarter, I realized that 2 people that were employed, Dwayne and myself, were impacted by the Q3. At the same time, you see service and supplies came down, because when we looked, the biggest contract that had come down was Ann's contract. So that was a difference of 90,000 between 25 and 26. So it kind of is along the lines that we are expecting. So it was nothing unusual, and that was our comparison between the 2 quarters. And then since we are so close to the end of the year, we also compared it to the estimates that we have received for Q4. And we know that between the revenue and expenditure, we will be within the budgets. All the numbers that we have got till now from all the departments, it's staying way within what will be projected for year end. So with that said, we come to the most important part where we are saying, where will our fund balance be? When we did pass the budget, there was a deficit of 792, and we see that gap getting closed a lot. Right now, we are projecting the year to be around with a deficit of 268. It might still come down. We are still kind of finishing off the numbers, but this is where we are currently trending. Either way, it's still good because we will maintain our fund balance. So as the next line is the 25% expenditure that we should have for 3 months. We are within that limit, and the cash flow of 10 million that we are saying that should be there. And after that, we will have excess of about 2.2 million. This is all projection that based on today's numbers, we are saying. We will know better as we get closer to the end of the year. One of the new slides I added this time is to kind of look how each department is trending. And yeah, everybody is within their budget, so it's only good news that to be shared. The general managers, when you see the revenue, that is mainly the rangers. It's above budget, what they're collecting. The expenditure for theirs is around 72%, which is within the budget, because Q3 we want to be around 75%. Admin is IT, HR, and finance. The drop that we are seeing is mainly because of professional services. We saw it coming down, so we know that the expenditure is going to be below budget. The next is capital. That's the one that's a little outlier, which made us realize that we have to still do some cleaning up as far as the direct labor is concerned, because the cost of labor of capital, which is booked into the budget here, every time they do a project expenditure, any project, we charge their labor onto that particular project. So this was a good indication that we went back and we realized there's still a little bit more to be charged back. And Parks has been within their budget as well. The very last one, which is non-departmental, that is for property tax that we receive. So again, the revenue number looks skewed because we have not received the last quarter. And in the expenditure, what you see is that's the loan that we have for the TELP funding, the 10.3 million, and we will be paying that till 2038 for the loan. But that goes off right in the beginning of the year, so that's why you see that at 100%. So that's just a comparison across the board for all the departments. And then lastly, with the cash balance. So nothing unusual. What's interesting is this time what we saw is, so when you look at this, the top 3 descriptions, that's the county project fund, the county debt service, and pension fund. Those are all the restricted funds. That's this side of the pie chart. And then the 3 that you see at the bottom, that's the county unrestricted, investments and commercial, that's this pie on the other side, the little pie, and that's our unrestricted funds. So most of them are trending within what we are expecting. For instance, the pension fund, which has currently got 5.6 million. Q3 last year, it was about 5 million. We knew that because of the interest rates, that is growing pretty rapidly. The good news is the project funds, which is at 27 million. Last year, same time, that was at 63 million. So that's an indication of the bond team going out and aggressively spending down that money that is being built up over there. And then debt service, that's a fund that we keep separately to repay our debt. We are building a little bit of funding over there because what we are getting is more than what's being repaid, but that's usually we work with the municipal advisors somewhere around the end of the year and to figure out what we'd like to do with it. Otherwise, our cash balances remain strong and within the usual trends that we always see. And then finally, what's the finance team up to? We are currently gearing up for our interim audit. We've got our audit list and the interim audit is supposed to start June end. And then we are also gearing up for our year end, which is June 30th, and we hope to close our books sometime by the end of August. And the final audit has been slated around September, October of the year. And then I will be coming back to you on June 15th for adoption of the budget.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I will turn to my colleagues for questions. And go ahead, Director Rosen.
No, I have no questions.
Oh, okay. Looks like Director Hatcher does. So.
Yeah. Under the projected fiscal year fund balance and the reserve target analysis, we've gone from projected to 1.2 million to 2.2 million. Can you refresh me on our reserve policy on, I mean, we're going to keep that 2.2 million in there, or do we have any?
So we have not brought the updated reserve policy to the board. That in the policy committee, we had presented the revision of the reserve policy, and in that we had said at year end, we will work with the board to figure out what we want to do with any of those funds that is left over there and make a decision, because it is one-time funding. So at that time, board can make a decision what they want to do with it.
Okay, thank you.
And I believe the conversation was pretty much what the finance director said, but we were going to pass that budget, see where the year ended, look at that balance, and then come back to you in a study session or somewhere with some recommendations on where those funds would best suit the district over time. Again, knowing that Rika's number one point is we really don't want to be sitting around with millions over our reserve target. We should put that to good use somewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Yes, thank you. Other questions? Okay.
I'm good.
All right. I did have a couple. So in the account that is where we're collecting the Measure F1 funding, you said that, if I heard you correctly, I think you said that there's a little bit more than we might pay, and there's some conversation with the expertise about what that might be. Is one of the options paying down the debt a little bit faster?
Yeah, yes, I believe that's what the district did last time. Yeah. So we aren't at that levels that the district was last time when you paid it down. So, we could wait and see, but that is the option, like Jim rightly said.
So the last time we went through that, we had collected quite a bit of interest on those funds, and we applied them towards the main balance of what we owed for the bonds. I think this time would be the same. We know now that there won't be an extension of Measure F1 ever. If we go out, there's a new bond. So what it would do would be to allow us to lower the tax rate to the public sooner maybe. And then if we went out for another bond at some point, it might not feel like such a big bite.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, great. Thank you for that context. And then I think you said interim audit, which was not something I'm familiar with. Is that an internal audit that happens, or is that a?
No, the interim audit is when the auditors come in the middle or kind of before the end of the year, and they do one set of deep dives. So they look into things like the AP/AR individual transactions, and they give us a list, and for any line item on our books, they ask us for details. And that's what they do during the interim audit. It is also a time when they might give us corrections and say, hey, we see this, which is not correct. Before you close your books, you might want to go back and correct it. And it gives us that opportunity as well. So that usually happens around June, July, before we can close our books.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other
I think
questions?
that's misnamed.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be the proactive audit.
Perhaps. Okay, anything else on this item? Seeing none, we'll say thank you very much. I appreciate your work and all of the finance team, and of course, everybody, being in good financial standing is everybody's work together. So thank you for all of that. Before we move to other business, I think I missed something earlier. So in our consent items was one of the items had an amended resolution we were sent earlier because of a small typo. And so I just want to confirm with my colleagues that when we adopted the consent calendar, it was with that amended resolution. Any concerns about that? No? Okay, great. Thank you. And there was just, Christy, there was just the one amendment.
Correct. It was in the first whereas clause, and it was just one word. It went from dance to theater.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so then we will move on to other business, which is a report from my colleagues as well as our esteemed staff. And I'll start with Director Hodges.
Oh. Okay. Yesterday was the okay. I still got to find that the rope. Saturday, this coming Saturday, the youth. What is it? The Youth Commission is going to come back to the Raw Ranch Rodeo for a meeting at 11 to 2:30.
We're looking up that date for you. The Youth Commission will be visiting the challenge course and Adrian's going to confirm the date. It's actually, don't go there this weekend. You'll be alone. It's the following weekend on the 30th. But that's good to remind because we did reschedule that due to a rain out. So thank you, Director Hodges, for reminding me of that.
And I guess that's it for me.
Okay, Director Hatcher.
I attended the Fairview MAC the other night, and there was a excellent presentation by our general manager, Tales from the Park Side. It was well received by the Fairview MAC. Some big discussion about their Lakeside Park. I did attend the Leadership Hayward at the DMT, Douglas Morrison Theater, and it's great to see the class and also our entire leadership team out there giving great words about our district and what's going on. So I was very, very proud to be a part, at least to see that go down. Last weekend, I did stop by the senior center, the Hayward Senior Center, and saw the resource fair, and the entire place was jumping with the entertainment as well as the resource fair happening there too. So it was great to see the entertainment as well as the resources for our seniors. And that'll be it.
Thank you. Director Rosen.
Hi there. I also attended Leadership Hayward, and it was great to see HARD there fully representing. It was, we were, not only did we have Leadership Hayward people there that were in the program that were staff members, but we also had so many people, staff there representing the district and actually doing the presentation. It was really good to tell the story about HARD. And a lot of those people had not only never been to the Douglas Morrison Theater, but weren't aware of what we were and what we were about. So that was really good. The rodeo parade, I wanted to thank the whole team, Adrian and Nicole and Chaz, that put that together so quickly. It's gone to a different format, and I think it's hopefully it'll grow more, and got a lot of feedback from people, a lot of cheers from the audience when HARD came by. It was good. We're well loved. Went to the Alameda County Special District Association meeting on Wednesday morning, and I'm proud to say that we have a new Alameda County Special District Association president for the next 2 years, as well as the new treasurer for the next 2 years. So thank you, Director Hatcher and President Wheeler. And I had a LAFCO meeting also on Thursday, and we actually have we selected a new public member. Spletsman Dario has retired after 20 years of being on LAFCO. So ex-mayor of Livermore, Bob Warner, is the new public LAFCO member. So there.
All right. Congratulations and thank you to the two new CSDA member leadership in Alameda County. And thank you all for the work to my colleagues for the work you're doing in the community. It was great to see us in the spotlight on at Leadership Hayward. I'm sorry I couldn't stay for everybody's presentations, but I know how impressive you all are. And yes, thank you for the parade and congratulations. The hard float took a ribbon in that. And I attended the National Recreation Park Association Quick Guides meeting. This is a Parks for All inclusivity effort to create guidelines and best practices for park districts all across the country to make it easier to do inclusionary practices. And so very interesting conversation there. Hit me up if you want more details or access to the guides that have already been published. And I know there was a presentation at Rotary today, but I will let Jim talk about that. Again, sorry I couldn't be there. So, General Manager Wheeler.
Honorable President Lamden, Board of Directors, James Wheeler, General Manager. Just kidding. Couple things to report about. I think I'll start with the freshest one in my mind. This morning, I was on a call with the American Academy of Recreation and Park Administrators, and I'm on the Career Development Committee, which is basically a committee of about 15 people that's working on this idea that our kids aren't really studying in our major going to school. So there's a lot going on. We're going to the Academy will actually be at the American Conference of School Counselors, and they'll be talking to high school and college counselors about, helping promote. Also, Department of Labor, I never knew had a list of like all these different kinds of professional jobs and vocations. And so we're revising what's listed in there about the profession. But okay, so Lake Ridge Park had a concern at the MAC about the bollards and people parking in front of the bollards that we put in so that they could have an emergency access through the park if they need it in event of a wildfire. I was told today that Nicole went down there with Gary Zhao from facility maintenance. They're looking at painting a curb. They're looking at changing the locks and looking at getting neighbors in the vicinity's keys to be able to get through that park should there be an emergency. We'd probably distribute like 6 or 8 to homes adjacent to there that someone could go unlock those if we couldn't get up there to get them out of that neighborhood. So we took care of that really quickly. Thank you, Dwayne and his team. Leadership Hayward was great. And I really appreciate everyone being there and helping and the presentations. Yeah, it's always wonderful when we can share what we do. Nicole said the consensus of the Leadership Hayward group was that we won and gave them the best day. So that was good. The rodeo parade and the booth at the rodeo event in Castro Valley. About Adrian would tell you there. What I wanted to tell you that part of it is we did have 6 or 7 animal rights activists come up, and I don't know if I'd call it harassment because they have the right to free speech, but they gave Chaz Chase a pretty hard time in our booth, so and we're wondering why we came back, right? Right, why are we there again? You support this again. And they were yelling about mutton busting, which was outlawed years ago. So it's still kind of this old school. The difference is I did not receive a single email or phone call about the rodeo in protest of anything this year for the first time ever. So we got rid of mutton busting, and the wild cow milking went away a couple years ago too. And so I don't know. All right. Very, very quickly, I need to thank Nicole Roa for acting for me last week. Committee meetings next week. On Tuesday, we have program and policy and finance, and on Wednesday, we have capital. There will be no personnel meeting on Thursday. CARPD is next week, the conference in Monterey. Some of us will be at that from the 27th, 28th, 29th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have a meeting to talk about the Hayward Area Historical Society tomorrow and the leases in the buildings, an internal meeting with staff. We are going out to look at parcel 4 tomorrow to trunk around in there and figure out maybe if that's a viable thing. Like city has reached out again about what's the possibility. I said, we are very excited, but we're worried about the fiduciary side of that, like what it might cost, the affordability of that, taking that on. Canyon Fields Wednesday, 11:30 for a promotional shoot with the school district. I got one-on-ones with staff this week. We'll be monitoring the strategic plan. We have 3 other meetings this week. The SkyWest costing to see what it would cost to operate and get SkyWest up to the point where it could be a park. The Robin Toussaint mural at the Hayward Plunge, and security and cameras across the district, trying to prioritize and reevaluate where we are and what we have. Did Rotary today, believe it or not, I did the 21-minute version of Tales from the Parkside for Hayward because everybody went long and they all wanted to leave, which was fine. Working on the budget narrative. So the budget book is coming along, all the pieces, but I have to look at all the narratives this week. And we kind of shared earlier, I want to thank Dwayne for just jumping on getting the 5 septic tanks out at the rodeo grounds in different states of repair all pumped out before the rodeo. They hadn't been pumped out in like 13 years. So we think that between the septic tanks and the leach fields and the well and what we're trying to do, there's a long-term approach to trying to stabilize the septic system at the ranch. And that's it. Nah.
Adrian Lee Bird, Director of Recreation, Arts and Community Services. As Jim and Director Rosen mentioned, we also did get a 2nd place ribbon for our float at the rodeo parade. We actually also participated in the Cinco de Mayo event, which was really nice. And this past week, we did a special VIP with Keller Williams at the Japanese Garden on Thursday. And then on Saturday, we had mobile recreation at Tennyson Park with about 60 climbers and loaned out bikes and scooters for the pump track and skate park. And then we also had another VIP on Saturday at the Hayward Community Garden. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that we are well on our way with some refreshing of the Shoreline Interpretive Center, updating our exhibition there on the sea level rise exhibition. So we should be seeing that come to a conclusion in the next month or so. Thank you.
There are no updates from Capitol at this meeting.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Dwayne Taylor, Parks and Facilities Maintenance Director. So I have one update tonight. So we have been working with Jim on a project to demo the bleachers at the Sunset Field. So that project is going to kick off on Wednesday, May 20th. It's going to take 7 business days to complete, according to the contractor. They're hoping to underpredict, overproduce in that area, but daily, we're going to get started around 6:30. We, meaning our parks team, will open up the property around 6 o'clock so they can have their safety meetings at 6:30, start work at 7, and they look to be out by 3 o'clock every day. So we're going to take about 2 to 3 days after they turn the field back over to us on May 30th to make sure there's no excess debris or the conditions are safe for all the community who walks and runs around that track on a daily basis. So thank you.
Oh, surplus vehicles, please.
Surplus vehicles, yes. Thanks, Jim. So we have been actively surplusing vehicles at Rowell Ranch. So one of the things that we wanted to do was get rid of all the old equipment that was on the site. So we've been working with Government Deals, which is an online auctioning site, to sell your surplus equipment. So some items of note, we sold an old backhoe for $5,900. We sold the 1976 water truck for $1,800. This is the one that also had a cracked reservoir.
Jump in for
So
my favorite?
yeah,
My
go ahead.
favorite is we sold a non-functional steamroller for $485.
So we mentioned all this tonight to say that we've sold as of today about $16,950 worth of surplus equipment on the site, and there's still more to be sold, but we're really happy with our progress in this area. Thank you.
Items that potentially could have been sitting out there for at least 20 years, some of them. So we're very excited to start getting all the excess equipment out of the ranch area to be able to start doing the storage shed and the yard cleanup next.
No update from me.
Oh, scandalous too. Okay. Christie, do you have anything to report? Okay, so official meeting ending time is 7:26.
Yes, we are adjourned.
Oh, I have to add one, sorry. Whoever might have just thought they were in King's heaven. The Hart Foundation on Thursday will be having their annual donor thank you event. Thank you, Megan, for reminding me. So far, about 250 RSVPs, 2 vendors stepping up, providing all the food, desserts. The Shave Ice truck will be there. There'll be music. Patrick Glendez will be the MC. It should be a great event, and I believe that starts at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laudna and Les.
Wait, don't you have to be present to win?
I have a question now that the meeting's over.
If you lost.
Reka, do you have anything else to announce? Aren't you on an upcoming board? No? I heard she's on Capri.
No, if anyone got selected. I don't know who got selected. I know that our proposed nomination for the Capri board was Natalie Wong, actually our insurance and risk manager. Yeah. And
Okay.
they were talking and gonna work on that this week, but
Maybe it's Natalie then. For some reason, I thought it was Reka.
no, Natalie has wanted to be on the Capri board for about a year
Right.
and a half now.
That's why I was surprised that.
Yeah, no, well, she's our risk manager and every claim insurance certificate, anything we do with Capri runs through Natalie, the lawyer. And so we're very excited and hopefully she does get selected for that. I can't think of a better candidate, but I don't know for sure yet.
I just heard that we had somebody that was going on to Capri.
Okay, so that would be Natalie Wong. Major congratulations, because
There you
that's a
go.
big deal for us as the largest payer into that insurance pool. It's nice to have somebody in that meeting now. All right.
Have a good evening,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.